Mostly Sports.
Welcome to Mostly Sports. I am Mark Titus. He is Brandon Walker. Today is Tuesday, September 12th. And what do you want to talk about, Brandon?
Last night was one of the most surreal NFL game-watching experiences I've ever had in my life.
I felt like I watched a whole season of NFL football in one football game.
It felt like I played a whole season of NFL football in one football game.
That was
emotions, jokes. We had it all. Like Twitter was on fire last night for the whole thing.
I still don't really know what the takeaways are other than just like that was fucking crazy. Because I was like, okay, so we're gonna come into the show. We're gonna talk about Rodgers tearing his Achilles. Nope, we're gonna talk about the Bills. Kind of so. Well, maybe the Bills are going to come back and win, and then maybe and it was all over the place. It was all over the place. In the end, the Jets win on a walk-off punt, which is exactly how that game had to end. So that's the perfect amount of like chaos. And then not only do they win on a walk-off punt return, you have the fucking dork on the broadcast who comes in and is like asterisk immediately.
Yeah. So I spent 3 hours, I think everybody did, thinking about how the Jets were doomed, and meanwhile the Bills were slowly dooming themselves on the field. And it was weird because the Jets probably are doomed, but they got last night.
Well, the problem is they're not doomed because their defense is so good. So like even
their defense is so good, but
they're they're doomed in terms of like winning the Super Bowl,
right?
But I think
which is doomed.
If I was like a fan of a team, you see the quarterback that's going to lead you to Super Bowl tears Achilles, probably.
Right.
We should say allegedly. What do journalists say?
Just say probably. We're not journalists.
Likely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, do you just want to go ahead and say it?
He tore his Achilles.
You saw it, right? That thing is torn to pieces.
Fucking tore his Achilles. Or his calf just suddenly became very strong.
His calf doesn't exist. His calf is taking over his body.
It's just like calf, just like it looks like a bowling ball out of nowhere. No, I think like if under normal circumstances the quarterback goes down, you think, at least this is how I would think. I'd be like, all right, well, let's tank for this great quarterback class that we have coming up. Maybe we're gonna get Caleb Williams. Maybe we're gonna get Drake May. But they're not going to do that. That's the problem the Jets find themselves in. Is like they're not going to be bad enough to tank. They have no shot at getting the number one pick because their defense is so good. So now you're kind of stuck in the purgatory of like, how many games can our defense win us? They won last night.
Not only the defense. I mean, the running backs are good.
Yeah, they ran the ball down. As good as the Bills' defense is.
Breece Hall was fantastic. Right. The receivers are good. Garrett Wilson made a hell of a catch. Like, they're good everywhere, but now they're not good at quarterback. And I just knocked my headphones out, but they're good back. So they're good everywhere but quarterback. But the thing is, it really is the most Jets thing that's ever happened in the history of football, right?
For Rodgers to
4 plays. He played 4 plays. You spent all year wanting him. You spent all year getting him, and you got him, and he runs the flag out, and everything's great, and everything's in front of you. What are you looking at?
The Hacksaw Jim Duggan shirt, was that on purpose? Is that like an Aaron Rodgers nod to like his one highlight last night? Running out with the flag, the American flag?
Yes, it was on
purpose.
All right. I woke up this morning and I said to myself, how can I best capture the essence of Aaron Rodgers and his career with the Jets?
What were your favorite? Let's power rank our favorite Aaron Rodgers Jets plays.
I would say the opening play.
I would say the one where he tore his Achilles and probably ended his career is at the bottom.
I'd put that one at the bottom.
I put that one at the bottom.
Right, but it's close to the top too. It's not far from the top.
You know what I saw no one point out, but I thought of is, did you see in the pregame that he was meeting with Kevin from The Office?
I did.
So Rodgers loves this shirt. Shout out to my guys at Homage, Columbus, Ohio company that I've been in bed with.
We don't do free ads here, Titus.
I do.
Okay.
For them.
All right.
For friends.
Sure.
Yeah. And it's also not free. They're paying me.
I also
they paid me to say that. I got deals on the side. No, I was gonna say Rodgers wears that shirt. Homage made the NBA Jam shirt where it's like The Office and then it's Kevin and the bowl of chili,
right?
Or the pot of chili. Rodgers loves that shirt. He wears it all the time. And then he met with Kevin from the Brian
Baumgartner. But we need to talk about Brian Baumgartner. He was a Packers fan, right? Now he's a Jets fan because of Rodgers?
Maybe he's just an Aaron Rodgers fan.
When did he become an Aaron Rodgers fan?
I don't know. It's that's how NBA fandom works. Why can't it work with the NFL?
Yeah, NFL fandom's different than NBA fandom.
You just like
when you sign a guy from in the NFL, he has to be your guy immediately, and then you have to want to kill yourself when he tears his Achilles. Again, 4 plays into it, like they're.
But that was what I was gonna say is that it was Kevin with the pot of chili from The Office. That was what the whole
that's the entire career the arc of Aaron Rodgers with the Jets.
It was very on the nose. Like,
he walks in with big plans. He's got a big pot. It's going to be delicious, and then all of a sudden it's all over the floor.
That's exactly how it went.
Is he? I mean, you tear your Achilles at 29. Okay, you tear your Achilles at 39.
That was I thought Adam Schefter at halftime was especially harsh, where he was just like, "We don't know what it is yet, but guys, let's keep in mind, Aaron Rodgers is old as fuck."
Right. I thought it was weird when he said that. I thought he was being really aggressive, but he's a good reporter.
I was like, damn.
Everything's about the Jets. Everything's about the Jets. The Bills were given the gift of Zach Wilson. They were given the gift, and this guy was number 2 pick of the draft, and the Jets are scared to let him throw down the field. They run screens. They do all this stuff. The Bills were given the gift. They're supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. Josh Allen's supposed to be an MVP candidate, and he turned the ball over 4 times. He was garbage.
So I guess that's going to be the big talking point for most people coming out of this. Is probably, if it's not Rodgers tearing his Achilles, it's does Josh Allen actually suck? Was it right in front of our face the whole time that Josh Allen sucks, and you just get enamored by. I mean, he is the gunslinger. He's got the what?
Let me throw a theory at you. What if Aaron Rodgers' Achilles was really the driving force behind Josh Allen's career?
What?
What if Aaron Rodgers' Achilles was holding the whole thing together?
No, I heard you.
And once it went down, it was like Samson getting his hair cut in the Bible. You ever read the Bible?
I thumbed through it.
Okay. No, it's just
I thumbed through it.
It was a weird ass night.
Weaponized it against cultures I don't like.
Which is all of them.
No, it was. I'm starting to think Josh Allen might suck, but that's obviously an overreaction. But it's also not, because like you have this pattern of behavior.
You know what was weird, Mark? Go ahead.
No, Josh
Allen
was
weird.
What?
Go ahead.
Josh Allen obviously doesn't suck, but is it obvious? Is like where I'm at with it. Where it's like he's super fucking talented, but he's got the gunslinger gene, and I think. You get enamored by the gunslinger stuff, because even Brett Favre, before he showed his penis and like conned people out of a bunch of money and all that sort of thing, we love Brett Favre for the gunslinger mentality.
We love certain gunslingers. It is weird. Sometimes we look at it as a bad thing.
Yeah. But then like Baker Mayfield was like, "You guys like gunslingers? Watch this." And we're like, "Baker,
fuck you, Baker.
Fuck you. This is not it." Johnny Manziel's like, "I got some gunslinger in me." We're like, "Johnny, shut up."
Shut the fuck
up, Johnny.
Here's the
Josh
thing about
Allen, I think like broke through in his first few years, where it was like, "This is fun." The gunslinger. But what did like Big Cat say? He mashes all the buttons. Like that's his little thing. I think like last night for most of the country. We got to the point where we're like, Josh, like, what the fuck are you doing out there?
I think last night showed the best of both worlds for them. They fell behind 16-13. They got the ball back with 1:48 to go, 1 timeout. Josh Allen, and there's this scene of Stephon Diggs, like, grabbing him by the face and saying, all right, we're going to go do it. We're going to go do it. And they just went right down the field. They just got the ball, bang, 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 they're in field goal range. They kick a field goal. Then they win the coin toss. They get the ball in overtime, and that offense that was so great just looked lethargic as hell. They just walked out there, okay, all right, whatever, it's just week 1. And they run the ball on 2nd and 15. It was a bizarre turn of events where they went from dominant for 30 seconds to garbage, and then they punted the ball. They punt the ball. This rookie catches it, takes it back. Where does a punt or kickoff return for a touchdown as a walk-off rank in sports? Because it's very high. I don't know how that's very exciting.
Okay, let me think it through. Walk-off homer, people will say, is better, but walk-off homers happen too often though.
Walk-off homers,
walk-off kick returns
are not rare at all.
Walk-off kick returns are so rare that
I can't think of very many.
That's a great point.
I think in college football, I think Houston had one a couple of years ago. I believe Houston had a walk-off kickoff return, and I know obviously last night Deshaun Jackson got close to a walk-off, but I think they were like 10 seconds
left. There was one in the Iron Bowl one year, wasn't there?
I don't think there was. I don't think there was.
The Jets lost in one last year.
Did they really?
Yeah, to the Patriots.
Told you.
That's Ebo, by the way, for those who
everybody knows Ebo.
Everybody knows Ebo.
Yeah,
that's everybody knows Connor Griffin. But did they know he's going to be on our show?
No.
Did they know that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so there we go. Should we introduce the rest of the...
Is he on our show?
I mean, he's literally.
I think I'm on Titus's show, not
It's
ours.
yeah, it's not hard. Brandon's my first guest this week. We're gonna try this out for a week, and
We'll see. We'll see where it goes from there.
Chair.
Yeah.
You're a great sidekick so far.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
This is great.
I've been a sidekick my whole life, so why not? Why not?
No, I obviously saying Josh Allen sucks is probably an overreaction after.
That's reductive, but it's still like.
What is the difference between, like, at the end of the day, if you are a guy with all the talent in the world, but you just can't resist turning the ball over, versus a guy
again?
Because if I were to argue that Zach Wilson played a better game of football last night, I'm not getting a lot of pushback, am I, from Zach Wilson versus Josh Allen?
The difference is all Josh Allen had to do to win that game was not make mistakes.
Yeah,
like Zach Wilson didn't really do anything to win it. He just didn't make mistakes. And Josh Allen, the only chance the Jets had is if Josh Allen gave them that chance, and he did. He helped win the game for the Jets. And that's, as an NFL quarterback, that's the number one sin.
Zach Wilson tried to make mistakes. He tried to throw an interception in the end zone.
Yeah,
and Garrett Wilson wouldn't let him.
And
Garrett Wilson was like, "I'll fix that for you."
And then the coaches were like, they wouldn't really let him throw the ball down the field. He was throwing so many screen passes, so many little passes. Like, they knew his limitations.
What an insane catch that was.
Yeah,
Garrett Wilson.
Ebo is going to, when there's a big game like that, he's going to make notes of the big moments. So you
know what happened because you're going to bed at like
no.
halftime.
I was awake. But he's going to make notes. He's got 9 notes from this game. 9 notable things. Like Josh Allen throwing 3 picks, Garrett Wilson making the sick catch, Josh Allen fumbling the ball away, the doink field goal from 50 yards.
When you said that the Bills just marched down and tied the game with the field goal, you glossed over the fact that it doinked off of Donnie pointed this out. The Wonton Don I saw pointed out that it doinked off the flag. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just a normal doink. It was like the flag was. Yeah, they put at the top.
It was a flag doink.
It was a flag doink,
like a patriotic doink the clown.
Yeah. It was just insane. Just like one thing after another. I do think the Jets defense is probably the best in the NFL. I do think the Jets.
I think it's good. Boy, that Cowboys defense was something the other night.
But the
49ers defense is something.
But they were doing it against the Giants. Come on. The Cowboys defense was good.
Cowboys defense was like that stadium just gave us a huge ass whipping on Sunday night, and then it gave us whatever that was last night.
But for the Jets for Aaron Rodgers to go down and the whole stadium, not just the whole stadium, the whole country is like
the whole country.
It's like this game is over. Let's pack it in. And people kind of just stopped watching the game because they just wanted to talk about Rodgers. Everyone's just like zooming. It's a Zapruder film on Rodgers' left calf.
Right.
And we stopped watching the game. And for the Jets to win the game, it's a testament to how good the defense was. That you have a Bills offense that's supposed to be good. You have a guy, Josh Allen, who's supposed to be an MVP candidate every year. And for them to still win that game on the back of the defense is incredible. And I do think they're freaking loaded.
So this wasn't funny, but it was kind of funny. I guess in the second quarter, the people were still thinking online, hey, maybe he's okay. He's going to get x-rays. And they show him on the cart backstage, and he gets off the cart, and he's got one of the biggest boots I've ever seen in my life, and he just absolutely can't walk. He looks like he's crippled already. And that's when Jets' hearts had to sink. Yeah. It had to be done. Like, he's over.
Rodgers is a tough son of a bitch. So I think, like, there was also –
He's 39 years old, too.
Yeah, and he had the look of a 39-year-old on his face when he tried to get back in the huddle, and he was, like, standing there, and then he just sat down.
That was a sad sit down, man.
It was just like, nah, don't got it today.
I mean, listen, I'm old enough to have done that sit down before where you think, okay, I'm good. Just hold on. Fuck. Hold on. Let me sit, and then we'll reevaluate in a minute.
You do that after like 10 minutes outside.
I do that walking in here, yes.
Did you guys have any thoughts on Chris Clemmer pretty much predicting it pregame?
Did you see what Chris Clemmer said?
I did.
I haven't been this nervous since right before Vinny Testaverde tore his Achilles. Chris Clemmer is probably the heartbeat of our company right now. Chris Clemmer is probably the most important person at Barstool Sports. Last week he was the conscious, and now this week he is predicting the future. I don't know what powers he has, but they're significant.
I'm going to say something that always gets me in trouble at a company like this.
You're going to say another slur?
Yes.
Okay.
I am.
20 minutes in.
Why not? Let it rip. We got to go viral somehow.
Yeah, work for Ben Mintz.
The woe is me bullshit from fan bases. I don't do well with it.
I get where you're coming from. However,
I don't do well with it.
However, last night wasn't just poor us, poor Jets. Last night was literally for once in their life, Jets fans had hope built on the fact that they were bringing in a guy that was bringing the hope, and the hope was extinguished in seconds.
They won the game, Brandon.
They did, but they still don't have
I
hope.
understand.
They still don't have hope.
But what frustrates me as a not coastal elite, a guy from Middle America, you become a coastal elite. You lived in New York.
You just moved here from L.A.?
You lived in New York, correct?
You just moved here from L.A.?
You lived in New York, correct?
How was your place in L.A.?
You lived in New York?
Yeah. I understand you could see the Santa Monica Pier from your
you
place.
You lived in New York?
I did.
We'll just do this for the rest of the show. But you know how many franchises are quote unquote tortured in professional sports?
A lot.
A fucking lot.
Most of them.
A fucking lot.
Yeah.
And we only ever hear from like the New York people or the Philly people, and there are so many Minnesota as a state is like the most tortured sports state that's
Cleveland
ever existed.
outside of like one stretch with LeBron.
And there's no the Vikings.
What's going on in Oakland?
The Vikings opened week 1 losing to a Buccaneers team that everyone thought was going to tank.
Yep.
And Vikings fans don't try to get the rest of the country's attention and be like, everybody look at us and how bad we have it.
They're too nice. New Yorkers are just assholes
anyway.
That's
what I'm saying. So I don't do well with the woe is me because the Jets woe is me shit would lead you to believe, and let's be honest, a lot of the Jets people are also the Mets people, and also and it's just and then they're Knicks fans as well, and you hear it over and over.
Thank you for explaining to me that New York fans are New York fans.
There are a lot of teams in New York, so there could be Jets fans who are Yankees fans.
I think TJ texted in our group chat last night, but are New York City sports dead?
Yep.
Last decade, they've got 11 teams, 0 titles.
1 appearance at a final.
And that was the Mets in 2015.
Again, I say
you don't care.
Look up Minnesota. Just like the last 1,000 years of Minnesota sports.
It's 11 teams not having success.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Versus 3 or 4. Also, the Jets fans celebrated last night like it was the Super Bowl.
That's what I mean. You can't celebrate.
Sad.
You can't celebrate and also woe is me.
So
and also it's just
I
too
forgive
much.
them for that because
it's too much.
Their whole season ended in front of their eyes. And
this is not in New York, by the way. This is in Chicago.
Why is that in Chicago?
This was last night in Chicago.
There's a Jets bar in Chicago.
Yeah. Tom Lay's in the background here.
I understand. I understand the context here, Brandon. I'm just
So fuck all New Yorkers is what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying fuck all New Yorkers. I'm saying I'm saying fuck all sports fans that think that your misery is specific to just you, and this isn't something that every. 90% of fan bases across the country, I would cut my dick off. I would Mike Vrabel myself to win a Super Bowl.
Most sports fans are miserable.
Yeah, because they never win. There's only 5 teams in any given sport that ever win.
You have to be an Alabama fan.
Right.
Or a fan of another good team.
But then anytime something bad happens to a team, the fans that are like, oh my God, this is us. This is so us. Right. This is the most Jets thing to ever Jets. Can we possibly Jets any more than we're Jetson right now?
The cousin of that belief are the good teams that win championships that will then say, everybody doubted us. Fans just come up with stupid shit all the time.
Yeah.
More NFL stuff, though. So,
what was the theme of week 1 for you?
It was kind of ugly.
Yeah, it was preseason week 4.
It was, the under went 12-4 in these games. Yeah. There wasn't a whole lot of scoring. I think touchdowns were at their lowest total for week 1 in 10 years. There was some. Listen, the Dolphins-Chargers game was fantastic. Last night's game was good. It wasn't pretty, and it wasn't actually good football, but it was very entertaining. But the Dolphins-Chargers was by far the most entertaining game of the week. There's just not a lot of it. The 49ers just killed the Steelers.
Yep.
The Eagles and the Patriots, that was a weird-ass game, too. The Eagles dominated until they didn't, but the Patriots still couldn't really do anything to them.
Yeah, weirdly, the Patriots, fans feel decent about that game, but they lost. And then
and they were never really in it until the end, but Mac Jones is not good enough to lead you down to really get you close to scoring. So, I don't know. The Patriots are in a weird spot. The Eagles might be in a weird spot. The Niners are great. I think the Cowboys, if I'm ranking the happiest fan bases this week, Niners and Cowboys got to be at the top of the list.
Yeah, every game felt like I don't know how to feel coming out of this because it was just kind of like the Bills Jets. You're just what a weird game. Yeah. I don't really know what to make of this. Or it feels like an overreaction if you were to make something of it because I don't want to get ahead of myself and say I think the Packers are really fucking good because the Bears just they do. They suck. So what are the things that like you don't feel are overreactions? The Niners are legit. Like that's not an overreaction.
I think the Cowboys are legit.
The Cowboys defense is insane.
Micah Parsons is as good a defensive player as been in the league in a long time. I think he's the next Aaron Donald is the face of the league on defense. I think the Dolphins offense, I think if Tua is healthy, he's a top 5 quarterback in the league, and he has proven that over and over and over. This is not his first 460-yard game in the last year.
That was kind of the theme for me, was that all the quarterbacks sucked except like Tua and Brock Purdy, basically.
Yes.
Jordan Love, I guess you should mention him, but
the fact that sentence makes sense in the year of our Lord 2023 is stupid.
Every quarterback was bad, and that's not true. I mean, Mahomes wasn't bad. His receivers.
Yeah, Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, and who was it? Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, and
Justin Herbert.
0-4.
Yeah.
Although Herbert scored 36 points.
Yeah.
So give him a little bit of credit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was ugly football. But
do you think this is because as you're watching Rodgers go down, and that's probably it, knock on wood. I mean, hopefully he comes back. I would love to see Rodgers get one more year, but like that's a tough injury to come back from.
It's a tough injury, but
years old.
If you're the Jets, you're built to win now. And I don't know what you do because you've got a guy who was number 2 pick, but you don't believe in him. He's not your guy. So what do you do? Do you try to roll the dice again? What if he gets hurt again in week 1 next year?
Do you try to pull a guy out of retirement? I saw the Phillip Rivers and Tom Brady photoshops.
Carson Wentz is on the table.
Carson Wentz.
Why would Carson Wentz be on the table for anything?
Just saying. He's out there.
Carson Wentz is better than Zach Wilson.
I saw the Brady thing, and the Brady thing at least makes sense. He is 45 years old at this point.
There's a QB right now in New Jersey who took a team to a Super Bowl and an NFC championship.
All right,
game.
Jamel. Calm down. Calm down over there.
I wonder though. My this is an overreaction, I know, but watching how bad the quarterbacks were in week 1, I wonder if it's almost. Again, I'm going to preface it. This is overreaction, but what else do we have to do after week 1? I wonder almost if like we as football fans need to just readjust our expectations for quarterbacks, because like the golden generation of the Mannings and Brady and Rodgers now and Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers, like all these guys are gone. And that's not to say there aren't good quarterbacks, but it's like Brady just completely fucked up the expectations for what a quarterback should be as far as team success. Peyton fucked it up as far as like statistics.
Yeah.
Rodgers fucked it up as far as like just raw talent. And now we watch quarterbacks.
So I don't think that's it. I think what has happened is the defenses have evolved to a level. If the league stays the same way for a while, defenses are always going to figure it out and catch up. If it was a running game, they would finally catch up. But right now, I think defenses have perfected the blend of pass rush, elite pass rush, with cover skills, with going nickel pretty much all the time, getting pass rush and nickel coverage at the same time. That's what the Cowboys were able to do. That's what the Browns were able to do to Joe Burrow the other day.
Yeah.
And I think defense has caught up to offenses, and now there needs to be some evolution of offenses because everybody's pretty much doing the same thing. Try to get a good quarterback, let him throw 60% of the time, and have success. And defenses have said, you know what? I think we figured out how to slow that down.
Yeah, get a maniac pass rusher.
Get one maniac pass rusher. Get about 8 good defensive backs and let's roll.
Yeah,
and that's kind of how they're playing defense.
Yeah, I mean that's the Quinnen Williams is like
right
a monster for the
Micah
Jets.
Parsons, Myles Garrett for the Browns.
Chris Jones got his deal done.
He did. Mississippi State
with
by
the
way.
Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is Chris Jones more of the like who's the golden child? It's still Dak because he plays quarterback.
Oh, for Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Dak 1, probably Jeffrey Simmons 2, Chris Jones 3. Jeffrey Simmons gives back in Starful a lot.
Oh,
yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, much like me.
Yeah.
He gives a little bit more money than I do. He has a football camp.
I just wonder the quarterbacks. I wonder if you pay attention to the way people talk about quarterbacks, you're led to believe that they're just simply no good quarterbacks that play this. And so at a certain point, it's like, are we going to do this every week where we're just like all these quarterbacks fucking suck, or do we need to just reconfigure what it means to be a good quarterback? That's because maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I think
it's that.
The shortened preseason too. I mean, the shortened preseason,
that's probably
and
what it
like
is more
Burrow
than
didn't
anything
play in the preseason at all. Like they're not ready to play. So give it till week 2 or week 3 before we make a judgment. Now, I have a quick question before we move on. What spirals better, or what looks better when thrown as a 50-yard spiral? The NFL football or the college football? Now, a lot of people will say the college football because it has stripes. but I think there's nothing prettier than a perfectly thrown pro football.
Yeah, the pro football, if you throw a tight spiral bomb, it looks like, and you see like the slow-mo, it looks like it's almost not spinning at all. It's just a football that's just
perfect.
floating in the air.
And the stripes kind of distract from that a little bit.
Yeah.
They go into business for themselves.
The only way the stripes look better is if you're really spinning it, and it makes like the perfect,
Looks like
if you
two
could
white
see,
circles? Yeah.
if you could see the gap,
Yeah.
then I'm out. I think I'm going no stripes.
All right, read the ad.
You're so silly.
Cars.com is a leading digital marketplace that connects car shoppers with their perfect car, celebrating 25 years of helping shoppers research, find inventory, finance, and sell cars wherever life takes you next, and whoever you're looking to. There's a car for that on Cars.com. Up to 50,000 cars are added daily to Cars.com. Shop over 2 million cars for 2 million possibilities. I have a car.
I also have a car.
I like my car.
Yeah. What car do you drive down here?
I drove my 2024 Jeep Wrangler.
You got a Jeep Wrangler to make this commute?
Mm-hmm. Sure did. That's what I want.
Well, how the commute is like 60 miles
It's
one way.
61 miles, yeah.
61 miles one way, and you got the worst fuel efficient car.
No, if you go to Cars.com right now, you can find a Jeep that's very comfortable and fuel efficient. Yep, sure can.
I would go to Cars.com right now and find a car that will get more than 10 miles to the gallon. They have a lot of those on Cars.com, I know.
You know what?
But
I don't care what
Good
you
on-
do.
good
Find
on
your
you.
next possibility on Cars.com. Where to go next?
is that it for NFL talk?
I think we can go to college.
We can pivot away. My final thought is just, it was sloppy, but
You're doing a final thought now, Jared?
final
Springer?
thoughts.
Are you doing a final thought on
Yeah.
every segment?
Final thought on
Can you get the tagline of the ad right before you?
Yeah,
well,
get the
I tell you what, I would, TJ. I really would.
show one, and Brandon's already gonna piss off the sponsors.
Read,
Fantastic.
Read that. Read the tagline right here.
Okay. Find your next possibility on Cars.com.
Oh my God, you're so done with these ads. You're so done with these
And
ads,
then it just
Brandon.
says,
Where to?
where to?
You're-
Where to next?
Where
to
to
next?
next? Where does it say on that? I'll do it again.
TJ, zoom in.
No.
Zoom in, TJ.
It does say where to in Brandon's defense, but
That's on me.
um,
First ad print of the season.
but it says right above it the call to action: find your next possibility on Cars.com. Where to next? So
I didn't see that.
It does say that right above it.
I didn't see that part. Okay. College football. College football. All right. There are 4 topics in college football. I'm going to let you choose. Texas, Alabama, Colorado, Mel Tucker.
Mel Tucker feels like a danger zone to step into out of the game.
Yes, it really does.
That feels like a little too risky situation.
Listen, he's never going to coach Michigan State again, but I think they're going to have one hell of a legal battle here. Like this
This is
going
gonna
to
be
be nasty.
very nasty.
Because it's he said, she said, and he's saying things, she's saying things, and Michigan State saying things. Bottom line, they're trying to get out of a $95 million
So
contract.
TJ, I said I didn't want to do Mel Tucker, and he just like I said. You asked me which of the 4 I wanted to do. I literally said let's not do Mel Tucker,
Hey guys,
and now we're in
since
it.
he's using TJ, I'm going to use you.
And now we're in it.
He wasn't talking Mel Tucker. I was.
Yeah, but you asked him
You
originally, what do you want to talk about
You said
first?
what topic do I want to start with? I
And
said
you went-
I said not Mel Tucker.
Did
Yanking
TJ take his side, or why are you taking his side?
Because I'm just stating verbatim
Stated-
what happened. He
Brandon-
said, I don't want to get into Mel Tucker. It's kind of muddy water right now.
Mark, as you work with Brandon more, you'll find that he often asks questions or opinions, not caring what your answer
Yeah,
is.
you don't
He's gonna-
listen.
yeah,
You don't
he's-
listen,
He's
Brandon.
looking
That's
to
your
set
problem.
himself up. He's
You're
asking
just
you a
waiting to
question,
talk.
so
Texas
he-
is good.
You're just waiting to talk.
Texas is real.
Let's
good.
talk about Texas. I want to talk. That's what I
I
would
think Texas
prefer.
is national title good. That's how good I think they are.
Yeah.
Alabama is not a bad football team, and people are overreacting, saying, "Well, the Alabama's down. Alabama's this." They're probably 11-1, 10-2 at worst. And Texas walked into their place and beat the hell out of them by 10 points.
Yeah, so Texas being back, the idea, the meme,
Right.
that's what we have to do if Texas gets the big win, all that sort of thing. This felt very different because it didn't feel like you were joking your way into the Texas is back type talk. Like when Ellinger, it was Sam Ellinger that won the what bowl
Beat
was
Georgia in the Sugar Bowl.
it? In the
right?
Sugar Bowl, and he grabbed the mic and he's like, "We're back," and he did that whole thing. That was like him trying to talk himself and the fans trying to talk themselves and the way Texas was always going to be back was that they were just going to simply kick ass on a football field, and you just kind of like it was like undeniable, and that's how I felt watching Bama. I was like, I don't need to talk myself into Texas being back. it is right in front of my face.
Yeah.
This feels very different than all the other iterations of Texas being back.
Well, there's no better way to announce you're back or you're here than going to Alabama and beating them by 10 points.
Yeah.
Beating them by double digits.
I don't like the Alabama hasn't lost a non-conference game at home since what year was it? 2007? Was it?
Yeah,
since?
they haven't really played one.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like who comes in here that's like
the only time
they've won 3 games that
they
are
play
of note?
neutral site. They've opened with neutral site games, but they don't play a lot of home conference games.
So they beat the shit out of Southern Mississippi,
Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, cool.
The Citadel. Listen, I think Texas. I think Quinn Ewers is going to be in the Heisman race all year. I think Texas is legit. But Alabama, I think they're going to be fine. I don't think they're going to the national championship. But this does symbolize to me what 2023 college football is. I think the grip of the SEC is weakening on the country, and I think it's a national game again.
But Texas is SEC now.
They are.
So.
But for this year, I think this is a national game.
I think you're right that you're like it used to be the SEC versus like 1 or 2 teams from the Big Ten.
Yeah.
But now it's gone national with teams like USC and Texas, and then you start naming all. You just start naming all Big Ten and Big Ten and SEC teams.
Well, that's the unfortunate reality that we have in our face. But the last time the game was truly national was probably that Rose Bowl with Vince Young and Matt Leinart and them, when it was Texas and USC, because the year after that is when Florida beat Ohio State, the SEC kind of took over for a while.
You're right, but if you live, I'm not talking to you. I'm saying, like if you remember, like going through those years, in 06 and 07, there wasn't a sense that the SEC was like Ohio State.
No,
and maybe it was just because I'm biased and I was a student at Ohio
really
State.
Start till Alabama took over.
But did you thought Ohio State was the best team in the year before Florida kicked their ass?
I did. I was surprised when Florida.
Right. And then the next year in 07
neither of those teams
was chaos.
Really should have been there.
It was like neither of these teams feel like national title contenders.
And then Florida beat Oklahoma, and then we're off and running.
Yeah, and that was once that kind of happened because after LSU beat Ohio State and Ohio State had lost 2 national titles in a row, I felt like it was more like Ohio State can't beat the SEC. That was kind of the narrative that had formed. It wasn't necessarily that the SEC is dominant; it's that Ohio State kind of sucks. And then when Florida wins, then you're like, oh, okay, so the SEC is going to win every.
Well, I remember before Florida and Ohio State played, the big push was to get a rematch between Michigan and Ohio State, because Ohio State had won that game. It was 1 versus 2. They'd won it by 3 points.
It was a great game,
42-39. Then that didn't happen, and Florida just changed the whole narrative and off and running and the whole thing. Butterfly
effect. What would have happened if Ohio State and Michigan?
What does Ashton Kutcher have to do with any of this?
What?
He was in that, right?
Yeah, but what's going on with that guy?
Ashton Kutcher?
Yeah.
Oh, him and his wife, right?
Did the Scientologists get to him? Like, what the hell is this?
What's going on with Ashton Kutcher?
You see this? You hear about this?
Him and his wife, they don't like to shower much.
I think they reportedly don't shower.
Yeah, they don't. They don't.
Okay.
But
we know they don't shower.
Yeah.
They've come out and said it. I'm pretty sure. I'll fact check it right now, but I'm pretty sure that's
Mila
a thing.
Kunis in Forgetting Sarah Marshall is one of the hottest women in any movie. I'm sorry, she just is. What
am I wrong?
There's Cameron Diaz. There's Cameron Diaz in The Mask, and then there's Mila Kunis in Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
We did a segment for Brandon just called "Am I Wrong?"
Point out where I'm wrong.
He's just like, you know who gave me a huge boner?
tell me a hotter woman in a non-nude role than Mila Kunis in Forgetting Sarah Marshall or Cameron Diaz in The Mask.
You just have a take that like no one's arguing against, and like no one.
Where am I wrong, guys? Where am I wrong?
I'd fuck Pamela Anderson for Baywatch. Am I wrong?
Just to add some context, this headline says Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis say they don't believe in bathing their kids or themselves too much. So they do bathe.
What does too much mean?
They've clarified they do bathe, but
she
not a lot.
Washes daily and showers seldom.
Oh, she washes her armpits and crotch daily. Yeah.
And nothing else ever.
What are you doing? I'm going to wash my crotch.
This is a misguided attempt to just be like the common folk. I think this is like a what can I say that won't make me sound like a
they're so out of touch
asshole.
They think that like regular people don't shower.
Yeah.
I have a concern, TJ. What's
your concern, Brandon?
Thank you. When we started this test the other day, that new studio countdown said 28 days, and now it's all the way up to 31.
It's been moving during the show.
Why is it moving the wrong way?
New information.
We'll be getting updates from Pete. Real-time updates from Pete.
Oh, did Pete check in on the show and see the number and realize that wasn't happening?
If we cover the football national championship in our new studio, I will consider it a massive win. That'll be the win of the college football season.
The reason we have the studio countdown is because this gray-ass wall here is not going to be the home of mostly sports. It's going to be a nice, beautiful studio. But apparently we are adding days to that. This is like my commute.
A Russian prison, dude. Look at this.
We're going to behead somebody in a minute.
So bad.
This is like my commute.
Yeah.
When I start and it's like an hour, and then I look down about 15 minutes in, and it's an hour and 20. That's what this is.
I'm not kidding. My high school has their little what's the I never took this class. Is it like the ATV class? That's an off-road.
AV. It's just AV.
AV.
Yeah.
ATV is an off-road vehicle.
There probably is an ATV class in
That'd
some
be
high
sick,
schools.
dude. I would take that class so fast. My high school's AV class has better setup than
This does look like the other side of the coach's office in a high school. Like where they just store stuff. There should be like Gatorade coolers and stuff right here.
one random dodgeball that got in there.
Yeah, last year's jerseys.
Texas is legit.
They are. Now,
I got to get Brandon back on track.
Another
You
thing
want the
about
show
this
to be
season.
silly. I wanted to.
I wasn't being silly. You think I was being silly when I said Mila Kunis was hot and forgetting Sarah Marshall? I fucking meant that shit. That came from the heart.
Texas is legit. You're not panicking on Bama.
I'm not panicking on Bama.
Are you panicking on Bama long term, like the next 5 years of Bama?
I think the gap has closed significantly, and I think it's very, very interesting that 2 years ago NIL became a thing and everybody could start paying players. I think it's very interesting that Alabama and Clemson both are weaker now than they were when it started. Once everybody could pay players, Alabama and Clemson got weaker. I don't know what that says, but it is in fact a fact. Now, also, not only I don't know how strong or weak they might be this year, but Saban's got to start looking around, right? Like he's 70 years old. He's got to start looking around and saying, "Hey,
Miss, what's her name, Miss
Terry."
Miss Terry. He's gonna step out on Miss Terry.
He's not stepping out. He's probably thinking like, all right, might be time to get out of here soon. Man's 70-something years old.
Yeah.
Is he wanting to rebuild this thing? Not that they need a full rebuild, but he's not the elite that he was 15 years ago.
Nick Saban back to Michigan State. How does that make you feel?
Confused is why we're going to spend 30 seconds talking about that.
Entertaining idea.
Right. Frustrated that I've got to stop.
I need to see the Photoshop. What would that look like? Nick Saban in a Michigan State in a Michigan State sweater or polo. Yeah, what do you mean? He's just going to retire? I don't think he can retire. I don't.
Why couldn't he retire? Everybody can retire.
No, Saban's not.
Dave
gonna retire.
Portnoy did it for 3 years. We have fun here. Okay.
I'm starting to see why every show you're on
Fails.
gets canceled and you don't get the push. And yeah, you're like, I don't get it, Mark. I go on the show. I shit on the founder of the company who controls
Oh,
all
he's a
the
great guy. Great guy.
all the resources we get here. And then,
All right, Colorado. You want to talk about Colorado?
I thought we were talking about Saban. I wasn't done with that because I was curious.
Well,
like,
Nick Saban knows where Colorado is.
I was.
We got the Photoshop.
Oh yeah, that's great work, TJ. That was fast. That makes sense to me. That looks good. I think that looks good. He looks younger. It looks like it added some life to him.
Yeah, he really does.
Doesn't it? He looks
Man.
renewed, refreshed.
We got to get
Get
into
this
East
guy
Lansing.
to East Lansing. Tuscaloosa's aged him. Yeah, you can talk about Colorado. I feel like that's all you've done for the last.
No, that's all
2 weeks?
everybody's done. Everybody's talking about Colorado, and that's fine. I think Colorado is the story of the season so far. I do wonder how long that story will last. They're going to beat Colorado State this weekend. Then they got Oregon, USC back-to-back, which if they beat Oregon, the USC game will be the most watched game maybe ever. Like, it'll be just gigantic.
Yeah.
But I just want to see how far it goes. Like, I don't want people to be enamored with the Deion story, and then if they win 6 or 7 games, let it fade or let it die on the vine. Like, I think that's what they're going to win in 6 or 7, and that is a remarkable year for them.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think Deion's already won, and I think whatever happens from here. No, if they lose to Colorado State, that's pretty bad. You can't lose to Colorado State at this point.
Yeah, that would be tragic. Yes.
Yeah, if they go to a bowl, they win their bowl game. Say they're just in some like.
I mean, year 2 is when I think he joins national title contenders.
Yeah,
because he's going to bring a new wave of transfers in. He's going to have Shador back, assuming Shador comes back.
But you're right. The expectations have drastically changed in the sense that like. I think most Colorado fans that I know going into this.
How many Colorado fans?
I actually know a lot. My girlfriend's from Boulder, so joke's on you,
Damn.
you dumb bitch.
I thought I was calling.
I know a lot of.
Thought I was calling your ass out.
I know a lot of people that.
You'll see my eyes light up. I fucking got him.
TJ, give me a point put a point on the scoreboard for
We're
me. Thank
keep
you.
a score now.
I am.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me a point there. They rightfully were like, listen, we don't know what to expect here, but the fact that people are talking about Colorado in the offseason, the fact that there's some juice to this program, the fact that people are going to be paying attention to us when we won one game last year, that's kind of enough. After 2 weeks, I think they have shifted the expectations, obviously, and I am curious what the new expectations will be as the season progresses. Where is there a world where Colorado goes 8-4 and Colorado fans are like almost a little bummed out by it because they started like 6-0 somehow and they had beaten USC and beaten Oregon and then they kind of fall off. That's just a weird. That's the weird part of sports fandom is you just talk yourself in circles as to what.
But I think Colorado has already outgrown. They've outgrown that. Like Colorado is somebody that everybody in the country has an opinion on, not just Colorado fans.
Right.
And Colorado fans, whatever they feel is whatever they feel. But now this is a national story. This is the biggest national story in college football right now, and by far. And how far it goes is how. Like Tennessee was the biggest story last year when they beat Alabama.
Yeah,
now, they were not as big
so it's
as
just whoever
Colorado
beat you just beat
year.
Alabama. Well, I guess Colorado.
Or if you just win major games,
but
like
Texas is a big story.
They won one game last year. Their over under was 3.5, and they're already 2-0, and it's remarkable. And Shedeur Sanders is playing like a top 5 draft pick.
Yeah, he really is.
He really is.
That's the part that is. I think
I didn't know his game like that. I'm just going to be honest. I saw him at Jackson State. He never even put up numbers like this big at Jackson State.
Yeah, that to me is like the thing. I mean, everyone's saying he's good and everything, but like that's it feels a little like I don't know if Mimi's the right word, but it feels a little like prisoner of the moment to just get excited about Shedeur Sanders. And I think for me at least, I've seen enough to be like, this guy is like not like unexpectedly good. This guy's like actually fucking legit.
Well, there's nothing
very, very
fluky
good.
about it.
There's nothing fluky
he
about
doesn't make
this.
mistakes.
This man is like actually going to be very good.
He throws a beautiful deep ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't make mistakes. He takes what the defense gives him. Like he's playing quarterback exactly how you want quarterback to be played.
I am curious, Travis Hunter, how long he can, play every single snap, how sustainable that is throughout the season. But yeah, Colorado has been the expectation. Watching that progress throughout the year will be fascinating. Is Colorado cool to you?
I think so. I think Deion's cool, right?
Before Deion, just like in general, if I said Colorado football.
I've always liked Colorado football because I was 15 years old in '94 when they had the coolest team of all time.
Right.
They had Cordell Stewart, Michael Westbrook, and Rashawn Salam, and they were the best video game team ever at that point. So I've always been cool with them, and they won the national title when I was 11. So I like Colorado.
As far as the Colorado-Nebraska rivalry, Nebraska, my outsider view on the rivalry was always like Nebraska is definitely the better program, definitely the better team. But they're also boring, and Colorado is like the cool, fun. Like Nebraska's running triple option with Eric Crouch, and I'm just like,
I don't want to watch this.
I get, I get that you're good. I respect you.
Yeah. I know you're going to win 62-7. Let's just get on with it. All right, with the busy fall season already in swing.
Wait, you're doing both ads? You fucked up the first one, and you want to do the.
So the second printout also got fucked up, so I had another one printed out. So Titus can do it if you.
Okay, you do it.
Oh, you do it. No. If it's messed up, you do it.
With the busy fall season already in swing, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals
Ron
for
Burgundy
jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, you'll eat well, and you'll stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. Too busy this fall to cook, but want to make sure you're eating well? With Factor, skip the extra trip to the grocery store and the chopping, the prepping, and cleaning up too, while still getting the flavor and nutritional quality you need. I hate the prep, Brandon.
The prep sucks.
The prep sucks, and it also sucks when you're done eating and you got to do the dishes, and you wash your plate or you put your little plate in the dishwasher and the fork and whatever.
I have a wife. So I'm not familiar with what you're talking about. Go ahead.
And then you turn around and you have all the pots and pans and all the cutting board you had to use to chop up, and it's just like chaos in the kitchen because of all the prep that went into it. Make it easy on yourself. Use Factor. Adjust your stride this autumn without missing a step. Choose from 34 plus weekly flavor pack, and that's it. That's all that was on the ad, Evo. So you go ahead and take it from
Oh,
here.
wow.
Brandon.
Flavor-packed, fresh, never-frozen meals ready to eat in 2 minutes. Level up with Gourmet Plus options prepared to perfection by chefs and ready to eat in record time. You know, if I were a mean guy, or if I were somebody that wanted to call somebody out, I would say maybe if Evo had gotten here on time for our meeting, he would have gotten the ad right.
Oh, interesting.
I was 3 minutes early to our 8:37 meeting,
8:37.
as we do here on the set.
Looking for calorie-conscious options during the busy season? Try delicious, dietitian-approved, calorie-smart meals with around or less than 550 calories per serving. Head to factormeals.com/mostly50 and use code. We got a code. And use code mostly50 to get 50% off. That's code mostly50 at factormeals.com/mostly50 to get 50% off. TJ, are people watching?
Yep.
Good. I like that.
Do you want to name a dude or two?
You want to name some dudes?
Yeah, let's name some dudes.
BJ Surhoff,
Magalio or Donez.
Matt Stairs,
Jim Edmonds.
Ruben Sierra.
I'm going to need a second. Hold on. I gotta fan myself off. What's the theme of this?
I don't know.
We just doing baseball players?
I was doing outfielders.
Yeah. Who's another? Kenny Lofton.
Ricky Leday.
Okay, all right, you win.
Can I say Carl Everett?
Carl Everett. Vladimir Guerrero.
What? No, you said I won.
I know, but I'm
And that's not really a dude. That's,
you won, but I'm doing the thing like NBA guys do when they have a shitty
Right.
game shooting and then the game's over and
You
then
get
they go
some
back.
garbage time?
They go back.
No.
No, they go back into the arena and get shots up after the game. That's me right now.
Jose
I'm just trying
Pedro.
I'm trying to work on my game a little bit.
Ebo, what else we got?
We got some baseball. Baseball's still happening.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I guess it's still going.
Were you aware of
I
baseball?
don't know if you heard about
I
this.
am, yeah,
They
I'm
expanded the season to 162 games. So
Did
they
they?
go all the way into
That happened in
September
what,
now.
1960?
I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alec Manoah got optioned down on August 11th by the Blue Jays, and per Jeff Blair of Sports Nation, he just didn't show up.
I respect it. I have
That's
no problem
kind of
with
a
this.
move.
I have no problem with this.
He just didn't show up. Do they know where he is?
I don't know.
No, I didn't say, do you know where he is? I said, do they know
I
where
don't
he
know
is?
if they don't know where he is.
Do you know where he is?
I know where he's not.
Which is where their AAA team is.
Yeah, in Florida, right?
I don't know. This is your topic.
But apparently he's not throwing any
We'll
balls.
work on this.
Wasn't
We'll work
Alec,
on this.
wasn't Alec Manoah good?
Yeah, he's been optioned twice this year.
Yeah,
he
but
got sent all the way down to
what
the
happened?
rookie ball.
Is it because he's fat?
I mean, that's some people's hypothesis.
Fat baseball players go.
I think fat everything works. I love a good fat basketball player. You don't see a lot of them.
Yeah.
I like fat everything. Well, except for
We're live, Brandon.
okay, all
Brandon,
right.
we're live.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
This is the what's the interview? It was with Shaq, right? Where Shaq's getting interviewed after the game, and the guy interviewing him. God,
We're live.
Yeah,
It was Jim Lampley, wasn't it?
Jim yeah.
Well, it might not have been Jim Lampley.
Shaq's like, these fucking refs are fucking. And then
I
like,
don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit.
Shaq, we're live, pal.
He's
I
like,
don't give a shit.
That was awesome.
What do you do when Shaq's angry? You
You
just
just let it happen. I think
was it Jim Lampley? I don't remember.
that clip's on YouTube. Surely,
Yeah, TJ, I'm gonna need to see that clip.
surely that clip. Yeah, here we go.
That's definitely not Jim Lampley.
Officiating went down the stretch there, but you guys pulled it out and was a big win.
They starting to wonder why the league is losing money. That's why people pay good money to come watch these athletes play, and they try to take over the fucking game.
Shaq, we're on live. I know.
Bessie goes, I know.
No, I don't give a shit. What a great moment. I respect getting sent to AAA and not showing up. I respect it.
Yeah.
I envision a world, Brandon, where we keep this office. We open the new Fantasy Factory.
Yeah.
They leave all the dipshits here. The cool kids get to go in the Fantasy Factory, and then like a year in, they're just like, Brandon, listen,
Right.
your numbers aren't great. We're
Yeah.
gonna have to send you back to the shitty office.
And I just don't.
You wouldn't show up. I wouldn't.
No. I'd be.
Like, I'm not going back. I
would
will
be
find a
in
new
Mississippi
job.
that night.
Yeah, I'd be like, fuck that. I'm out of here.
I would be in Mississippi by the end of that day.
Yeah, I respect it. So.
No, I just. So baseball, right? You mentioned it's still going.
Yeah.
Do we have anything surprising or shocking in baseball? I mean, we pretty much know our playoffs, right? There's not
The AL
now that
wild
everybody
card,
makes the
AL wild
playoffs.
card shaking
Yeah, the
out.
wild
NL
card,
Central's still
the
a
wild
little
card,
up in the air.
The
but-
NL wild card's pretty crazy.
Is it?
I think it's
Cubs
pretty
are in
competitive.
as of now?
Cubs are a couple games in. Yeah.
Okay.
The Cubs feel they're still like a pipe dream of winning the division. They play the Brewers. We should go to that actually.
Is it here?
It's to end the season. There's
When I say here, I mean that could mean either Milwaukee or
Yeah.
Chicago to me.
yeah, exactly. They closed the season playing in Milwaukee, like 3 games I think. And so, like, basically, if they're within 3 games of Milwaukee, go into that series, they could.
Then they're playing for the division.
They're playing for the division, yeah, to end the season. Yeah, but the wild card, they've expanded the playoffs. I don't know how I feel about that, by the way. I like
What?
that.
I mean, it's too much.
Yeah,
It's too much. To me, growing up, it was 2 division winners, and then they added the wild card, and that was okay. You had 4 and 4. Now it's what, 6 and 6?
6 and 6, yeah,
I think 4 and 4 is enough.
yeah.
But what?
They're just gonna keep expanding. You know this, right? Like
To
this
what?
is gonna. I don't know. They're
Oh,
just
when
gonna,
when Nashville gets a team,
yeah.
would you rather?
No, I mean like they're gonna keep expanding the playoffs. They're just
know.
gonna keep they're gonna allow. There's gonna be 20 teams.
Are
in
you
the, in
are you
MLB.
scared of a 96 team NCAA tournament?
What?
Are you scared of a 96 team NCAA
Oh, 90.
tournament?
I thought I was thinking of 1996.
That is when Mississippi State made the Final Four.
That's what I thought you were saying. I thought you were like,
No.
are you scared of the
Are you
1996?
scared of them expanding to 96 teams or whatever it is?
It's going to happen.
That's gonna suck. There's no.
Well, here, hold on. Let me push back on this before you go on whatever spiel you're going on. How is more basketball bad?
Because I believe that humanity's one major perfect accomplishment is 64 teams in the NCAA tournament. I don't know why, but it's absolutely perfect.
So
It brings in, you have the favorites, you have enough mid-majors, you have enough small teams, you have enough of a mix where the 64-team format is perfect.
right, and we don't have that. So I guess that's my point. Is like it's already
68.
It's
but
already-
it's 64.
But that's what I'm saying. So if for the record, I am very anti-expansion. I do not want it to expand to 96. But all you have to do is just simply not watch until it gets to the
Well, I
round of
don't
64.
want to not watch. I want it to be 64. I need it to be perfect.
I must watch.
I need things to be as they've been my whole life. I don't
Yeah.
need things to change.
I also think just let every team in. That's what because I see that's like the Onion take where like there's a headline they let 500 teams in or and then people are like, well, why don't you just let
Well,
if
you
you're
come
gonna let
from
96 just
Indiana
let
though. Do they still do that? Or is it still the open NCAA open Indiana basketball?
No,
tournament?
they ended that in the 90s.
Oh, really?
But that would be
I'm
that-
only off by 30 years.
yeah, you're slightly off. But they did it in Hoosiers. Yeah, that was correct. The film that was set in the 50s.
Does everybody
that
growing
was-
up there believe they're going to be in the movie Hoosiers at some point?
Correct. Yes.
That
yes.
your life is going to be the plot of the next Hoosiers?
Yes. Yes. You spin the ball to yourself on your farm, and you catch and you shoot. And Jimmy Chitwood did not miss in that scene, by the way.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I know. Hey, well, you missed at the very end.
that's true.
Yeah, when,
So I
when
guess
after the
I
coach
guess
walked
what
off.
I just
yeah,
said
was wrong. Yeah.
Was actually wrong.
We have breaking Aaron Rodgers news.
Okay, all right. What happened?
He's in the chat. He said, I'll be back week 4.
Oh, okay. Nice. Damn. All right. Shit. So week 4, I don't know who they play, but there you go. God damn it! What happened to the studio countdown? It went from 31 to 34.
All right, you want to wrap this up?
I have hats. You want
No.
to pick a hat for shenanigans?
No, we're not finished. We got to go till 10 o'clock.
No, I'm not trying to be done. I'm trying to wrap it. I'm trying to
What are
just
you
kind of
trying to
like.
wrap up?
I'm trying to just ease into the end.
Okay.
I'm trying to like get a little.
Hold on, TJ's got hats.
I got 4 hats from the party, so I wanted to see your thoughts on them.
Okay, go ahead.
So we want to explain what we're doing with these?
Yeah, so TJ, when we were planning out ideas for the show, TJ just became obsessed with the idea of drawing stuff out of a hat. I think this is, what is this, our version of the wheel,
Yeah,
kind of? It was
yeah.
just kind of like, we need a randomizer.
Yeah.
What is our randomizer?
It randomizes
I don't know,
discussion
TJ
points and punishments and all this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
These
like
are the hats that
we were
you
just,
take a bag and I'll take a bag.
we were brainstorming ideas. Brandon was like, I'm going to be a big dumb idiot. That's what I do best. And then TJ was like, hats. And then we were like, TJ, you keep saying hats. What do you mean? And he's like, I just want to draw stuff out of hats. And
right.
we're like, well, let's see what it looks like. So, he
So we
brought
could
in
do
some
like
hats.
a hat for like places to go and film videos, or a hat for video topics.
Here's the first hat. Just your standard Indiana Jones type. Is that a fedora?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a fedora. I don't know if this hat's big enough.
Yeah, I don't know how many
things you can put in there.
things you can fit in there.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that hat's on.
This hat is big enough.
That's my favorite one.
The top hat.
It's going to be hard not to go with the top hat. That's the top hat. Although how many hats are in here, TJ?
4.
You have a massive head.
My head's too big. My head is size 8. I can't fit into anything.
You're size 8?
Size 8, yeah.
Where did you went to Spirit Halloween? They still. Oh, I guess the calendar turned back around. Now it's almost Halloween.
Right.
I was
You can't complain about
I kept
that.
thinking it was like May.
Yeah, it makes
I'm like, how do they still?
It makes a lot of
I'm
sense.
like, oh, all right. Well, I guess Halloween
None of
stuff
these
would be.
hats fit. There's
That
my
one.
hat.
That was great. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna draw shit out of this hat. Doesn't go that deep though. If you look at it, it actually stops right here. It doesn't. It stops like right there.
Oh, is that where
it
the
doesn't
rabbit
go all
is?
the way. Yeah. So you have to like punch through
Okay.
and grab the rabbit.
If there were a rabbit in there, that would be awesome.
A live rabbit
Yeah.
that we just pull out of this hat.
You ever eaten rabbit?
I have actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not good either.
No.
Did you see that? What the orangutan that threw a possum? Did y'all see that? There's this video of this orangutan throwing a possum.
This is silly.
So this is my tryout for silly season,
This is
right?
this is silly season.
Yeah. So you saw it.
Yeah. I sent it to TJ to pull up. I think he's got it.
Headline is orangutan evicts invading possum.
Have you seen it? TJ, show me watch this.
What is going
watch
on
this.
right
He's
now?
in his net. Look at this. There's a possum up there, and he threw it. He threw the shit out of it.
The report said the possum was okay. It was seen.
Look at that.
That possum is not okay, dude.
He threw the fuck out of that possum.
Proportionally, that's like a 500-foot fall.
Possums are strong animals. though.
Are you like me when you go to the zoo? You could just sit in front of. I'm gonna fuck up this. The designation of what apes and. Like I like
The primates?
The primates.
Right,
The
yeah.
primates. Do you just sit in front of primate? I don't care what primate
I go
it is.
straight to the monkeys, buddy.
Yeah,
I
just want to see.
I want the ones that are up tall, just swinging around. I want to see them. I want to see them bad.
I do like the long-armed
Yeah.
guys that are swinging.
And those
are fun.
videos that I always see on Twitter or something of people like doing magic tricks for the monkeys or doing these
Yeah.
things. What zoos are y'all going to? Because I can never get that close.
The gorillas are fun, but up to a certain point because the gorillas are kind of boring.
Yeah.
They'll just kind of sit there. But then
Well,
also,
most of the animals are kind of boring.
but not the swinging monkeys, and the monkeys start scratching their ass and sniffing it, and that's funny. Or they scratch their ass and make their buddy smell it.
The
That's
big
funny.
cats are always boring. Like the big cats just lay around like cats and just group up together, say hi.
Big cat
Yeah.
kind of stinks.
The gorillas though get depressing because you start to just stare at them and you're like, that's kind of just like a human being almost.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
could be
like you just
me.
see like the guy just has like a sad look.
Although
the gorilla has a sad look.
I
on
would
his
trade lives with a zoo gorilla right now. Just be able to sit and chill in the sun all day, get your food thrown to you.
How do we think the first show went?
I think I was good.
Was it silly enough for you?
I'm wearing this hat. So what does that tell you?
I did a good job today.
So I think this is the hat we draw stuff out of. I think that hat you keep under the desk. It's the break glass in case of emergency.
It's a silly hat.
If you feel like the show's not silly enough, you just grab the hat and you throw it on, and then you're gonna win everybody back.
Brandon goes silly mode.
How much older do I look in this hat?
You look like a 12-year-old like homeless.
I look like Kenny Rogers. Okay, all right.
I think we need for our first show, we need something to go viral. We need to like definitively go viral somehow. And I was trying to think of how we could pull this off. I have a few different ideas. You mentioned a slur.
Yep.
Let's draw out of the hat and see which one of us should
Say the slur.
slay this.
Slay the sir.
Slay it.
We're gonna slay a sir.
I have a
now.
separate slur hat that's full of just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I brought that from my house.
I do think. I mean, jokes aside, in all seriousness, saying a slur would go viral.
It would.
I think if one of us, if we paper scissors rock, little Rochambeau.
No, that's not how you say that.
Paper scissors rock.
Paper rock scissors.
Oh my god!
Wait, rock. It is
Don't
rock
do this.
paper
Keep
scissors.
this shit on your
What
other.
did you say?
Keep this dumb shit on your other shows.
I
all
don't
right,
have the
this
hat
is
on.
this
I don't have
is
the hat on
this
anymore.
is this is too silly. This is too
The
silly
way
for
you
me.
said it was silly. That's your fault.
Paper scissors rock.
Nobody says it like
That's
that.
outrageous.
Nobody says
That's
it like
outrageous.
Then you
Indiana's
went
weird.
Rochambeau, rock, scissors.
that. Yeah, it's rock paper scissors, right?
Paper, scissors, rock. What's the difference?
There is none, but it's.
What do you
It's
say
all three.
when you're throwing? What do you say?
Paper, scissors, rock.
No,
shot,
shut
no
up.
shot, no
Shut
shot.
up.
You say 1, 2, 3, shoot, or babe, I don't know.
We can end the show.
Ian Rappaport confirmed torn Achilles out for the season.
Yeah.
I confirmed last night when I was
So
Wait a
Rodgers
minute.
when I was
lied.
zooming in on.
Wait a minute. Aaron Rodgers was lying in the chat?
Lied in the chat.
He really is a piece of shit, man.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do a slur.
I didn't say that.
We could. I also had an idea. One of us just pulls our penis out live on the air. I think
How good are those cameras? Okay.
I think that clip. I mean, as weird as it sounds, I do think that like if dudes were sending out links, they're like, "Watch this, Brandon Walker pulled his dick out."
Yeah.
I think if dudes are getting that text, they are clicking. As much as they want to pretend like they won't click the link, everybody's clicking that link.
We could also stage that if we just had the camera on Mark and the caption was Brandon Walker just pulled his penis out, and it's just Mark like screaming and crying. What the fuck is that?
I thought we could also stage a fight. Like I think like
Oh, that'll probably happen eventually
Yeah.
naturally, so I wouldn't worry about that.
like a W like yeah. I just tackle you.
I would love to be able to hit one of these guys just for no reason.
Yeah.
What else are they here for?
Connor's taking his headphones off.
Can I punch you in the chin?
I don't know about in the chin, but
Well, okay, it's not as good.
But it's better if like Connor says something and then you take offense to it and punch him, because then it's like then we can tweet out the video and just say like, "Whoa, things got heated in episode 1."
Yep.
If Connor just all right, not
I guess
doing
I
that
could
one.
come out as gay. Is that
It's not exactly breaking news, is it?
no? Well, I mean,
You keep suggesting this, by the way.
I know, right?
You keep bringing
no,
this up.
I
as a
think it would work.
suggestion.
I'm not going to come out as gay today.
I think we could
save
do
it.
we could do the Mean Girls thing where one of us just says something.
I got to get divorced. That's not funny. God bless her.
One of us just says something outrageously dumb, to where like people just want to dunk on us at how stupid we are.
Yeah. Maybe we could just end the show.
Yeah.
brainstorm for tomorrow.
All right.
All right, that's the show.
That's the show.
Thanks.